Now it's time for your assignment. Let's take a look on my screen. At the right side of the screen, you see the final effect of our assignment. This is what I want you to do. We have to create a navigation, which is exactly like this, and below a header with the picture in it. What I want you to do is to go to the Pixabay, and if you start searching, for example, for a peer, somewhere below this picture should appear, and I want you to download it by clicking on it and clicking on this button, free download. I downloaded the version with the full HD resolution, so what I want you to do is to download it and place it in your project folder as I did. If you won't find this one, it could be any peer or any other picture on Pixabay, but it's good to place one which is wide, but you will do as you wish. Let's close this for now. So this is our final effect. At the left side of the screen, you can see the guidelines of this assignment. So what you need to do is to create a folder with your project, put a picture inside of it like this, create an index HTML file like I did, and style CSS file. Then create a simple HTML structure with the title of peer, for example. You should import your style CSS file inside it, and all we have in our body tag is our nav tag with the simple structure of navigation, where we have only the A tags inside it, with the text about me, my goal, what I did, and reach me. And below our nav tag, we have a header, which is empty in HTML, because this picture will be in our header, but it will be imported in CSS as the background image. Everything you need to do is written in the guidelines right here. Our starting project will look exactly like this, because all we can see is this navigation right here. You can create your index HTML file and place this content of the body in no time. This is simple navigation with the A tags inside it and empty header below it. This is what it will look like. Here you got the guidelines of this assignment and the final effect that we want to go to. So now please pause the video, try to do this assignment by your own, and I'll be back in a moment showing you my solution and my way of doing it. Good luck. I hope you did this assignment by your own. I hope you managed to do it till the end. If something was too hard for you, now you can watch how I do this assignment, and it is also the part of the learning. So now let's go to our starting point of the project. This is what we have, and let's start doing this assignment. First thing we need to do is to reset margin and padding properties with initial reset and import Roboto in its bold style as our custom font. So let's go to our style CSS file. Let's do our reset. Like this. We can see the effect already. Now let's import our custom font from Google Fonts. So let's go there. We have a Roboto font right here. And we have our styles. What we have to do is to download the bold 700 style. So we just have to press this, select this style button. And this way I'll show you the other way of importing the fonts on our website. We usually did it by the link tag in our HTML file. This way we will do it by the import way, placing our custom font into the style CSS. You can see the style tag right here. This is the line of code you should place in your CSS style file. Or if you don't want to create a CSS style file, you can create a style tag in your HTML and place it right there. But since we have our separate CSS style file, we can just copy this whole line without those style tags and place it at the beginning of our CSS file. Exactly like this. This is the import command with the URL function, which inside we have the link to our custom font. As we did before, we should copy this CSS rule and also place it in our CSS file as a comment, just so we could know that this is the font we should refer to in CSS to make it work. Let's save our file. Let's close this Google Fonts site. And let's go back to our guidelines to see what we have to do. As you can see, we have already placed all the selectors we want, so we can refer to it in our style CSS. But let's place it in a proper order. It doesn't matter so much, but let's keep it this way. We have navigation, we have a tag in our navigation, and we have header, like this. What we want to do now is to style our header first. Specify the header element to be 40% of the browser window height. So let's do it. Header, height property, and 40% of the browser window, so 40 VH as the viewport height. Let's save it. We don't see nothing at all because we have nothing inside our header or even a background color, but we don't need it. The next thing we want to do is to set an image, a background image with the URL function of our peer downloaded from Pixabay. It can be a different if you don't find this one. I have it already in my folder, and we should place it as a background. We can see the whole property right here with the value. This space shouldn't be here because the URL function should start like this. I hope you managed to do it by your own, but let's go to our style CSS file. And the property we want to use is the background image with the URL function. And inside this URL function, we want to place the name of our image in quotes or without it. I like to keep it in quotes, which is the peer JPG. Let's see if it works. And we can see it works perfectly fine. But we can see that this image is not displayed as in our final project, but I think we have it also in our guidelines, and we have it right here. Set the background size property to cover. So let's do this. Background size, and we want it to have the cover value. Let's see if it works. And it works perfectly fine. It's exactly how we got in our final project. So let's go back to our project. And now all we have to do is to style our navigation. So let's read what we have to do. For our nav tag, we have to set the navigation background color to 333. So let's do it. Our nav tag background color 333. Like this, we can see it worked. Set the left padding to 20 pixels. That's what we are going to do. Padding left 20 pixels, like this. And we can see it changed. Let's see what's next is to do. Make the bottom border 4 pixels solid royal blue. 4 pixels solid royal blue. We can already copy this because this will be our value. So we want to set its border bottom as 4 pixels solid royal blue. Let's save our file and we can see it already on our screen. So the last thing we have is to style our A elements in our navigation. So let's start to do it. Place the A elements next to each other, but so that their size can be determined. We should already know this. It's the display property with the value of inline block. So they are still next to each other, but now we can style them freely. Let's see what else is to be done. Change the font family to Roboto. We have our font family set right here. Let's copy it. Let's paste it right here. We can see it changed already. Let's see what's next. Change the font color to white and set the font size to 24 pixels. Font size 24 pixels and its color set to white. Like this. Now our A tags are more and more visible. Let's see what's next is to be done. Get rid of the underline. Okay, so let's do it. Text decoration, none, as it is. Let's see what's next. Specify padding at 20 pixels top and bottom and 30 pixels left and right. No problem with that either. Padding, just a padding with nothing else. 20 pixels from the top and the bottom and 30 pixels from left and right. Let's see if it works. And we can see it works pretty fine. Now it's look exactly like in our final project without this hovering effect. And this is what we are supposed to do now. When you hover the mouse over the element, the font color should change to orange. Alright, so let's refer to our nav A element once again. Now with the pseudo class of hover. And we want to change its color to orange. Let's see the effect. We can see it's pretty nice. And it's the same as in our final project. Now what I wanted to show you and what you may have noticed by yourself, when we will stretch our window screen, this image inside our header is not displaying so well as it should. And we can change that so that it will look the best as it can on every resolution by specifying one property. As I said, we will be talking about the background in this course in detail, so don't worry if you couldn't manage to do this part of the task, because we will be working at it in some time in this course. But for now, we know this background size as cover, but by default, this image is displayed from its top left corner. So what we will have for our width of the browser window, the top left corner doesn't change. The image is displayed from this position. And we can change this. As I said, we will be talking about it in more detail in this course. But for now, you can just place the property of background position and set it to center. Let's save our file. And now we have this effect. If we have our website full screen, we can still see the whole pier inside it, because now this image, no matter what resolution we have, is displayed always from the center. So the center of the image is always placed in the center of our header. No matter how big or small our window size will be, background position is specified to center, and this is how this image will be displayed. That will be all for this section. I hope it wasn't so tough and it was useful for you. And now let's go to another section to learn more.